Hi, and welcome to Grammar's Really Cool. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Markwood here to talk to you today about my favorite part of speech, verbs. Now, I know I say this a lot, but verbs are actually really cool. Without verbs, we would just go around naming things all the time instead of being able to say something about anything. Now, when you're talking about verbs, there are two main categories. You've got action verbs, which is what you do. Those are all of those verbs like sing, dance, things that you can actually get into and do. And then you have linking verbs. Now, linking verbs can be hard to remember, so I wrote you guys a song so that you can remember them. So sing along with me. It goes like this. The most common linking verbs are forms of the verb to be. If you want to memorize them, you should sing along with me. Is, am, are, was, and were, be, being, been. To be sure that you've got them, let's sing them once again. Is, am, are, was, and were, be, being, been. Now that you know them, this song can finally end. One more time. The most common linking verbs are forms of the verb to be. If you want to memorize them, you should sing along with me. Is, am, are, was, and were, be, being, been. To be sure that you've got them, let's sing them once again. Is, am, are, was, and were, be, being, been. Now that you know them, this song can finally end. With any luck, you'll be singing that song all day long. Anyway, when you can't remember the song, the best way to think about a linking verb is to think about an equal sign. Anytime you have a linking verb, you can replace it with an equal sign and the sentence will still make sense. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. Ender is an energetic toddler. If we were to replace the linking verb in this sentence with an equal sign, the sentence would still make sense. Ender equals an energetic toddler. That still makes sense. Let's take a look at a harder one. The weather seems crazy lately. If we were to replace the linking verb in this sentence with an equal sign, our sentence would still make sense again. The weather equals crazy lately. Why, yes, it does. So why does all of this matter? Well, when you're finding your parts of a sentence, the type of verb really makes a difference. Because if you have an action verb, you're going to be looking for a direct object. Whereas if you have a linking verb, you can't have a direct object because there's nothing that an action could be performed on because there is no action. So you're going to go about finding your parts of the sentence the same way you usually do. The first step, of course, is to find your prepositional phrases because inside your prepositional phrase, you won't have any other part of the sentence. So you can just eliminate that as you go on to step 2. Step 2 is finding your subjects. Step 3 is finding your main verbs. Now this is where that linking verb, action verb distinction comes into play. If you have an action verb, you're going to follow the arrow down to the action verb section of the flowchart here, and you're going to continue by looking for direct objects or things on which the action could have an effect. If, however, you have a linking verb, your next step is going to be looking for predicate adjectives or predicate nominatives. A predicate adjective is when you have an adjective that comes after your linking verb that is modifying your subject. If you have a predicate nominative, it's the same thing, except instead of an adjective modifying your subject, it's a noun that's renaming your subject. So let's go back to our previous examples. We had our sentence, Ender is or Ender equals an energetic toddler. What word comes after the equal sign or after the linking verb that is modifying or renaming Ender? Energetic is modifying the word toddler, but toddler is telling us what Ender actually is. Since toddler is a noun, we're going to label toddler a PN or a predicate nominative. It comes after the equal sign, but it's modifying or renaming the subject. Let's look at our second example. The weather seems crazy lately. What word comes after the equal sign or after the linking verb that modifies the subject, weather? In this example, crazy is telling us about the weather. Because it is an adjective modifying the subject, we're going to label it a predicate adjective. Predicate adjectives and predicate nominatives are actually pretty easy once you figure out your linking verbs and your action verbs. So my advice to you is to double check your DGP for today to make sure that you don't have any linking verbs. If you do have a linking verb, make sure that you have labeled your predicate adjectives or predicate nominatives correctly. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Grammar's really cool. Okay, I think it's recording. Okay. Grammar's really cool. Verbs are really cool because I don't think I can do it. Instead, now with verbs, we can say stuff about things.